Don't tell my wife. I bought a bunch of comic books.
Watch Nighttiger comic.
Tiger comic. Tiger comic.
Tiger comic. Nighttiger comic. Tiger comic.
What? Nighttiger comic?
Comic. Nighttiger comic.
Yeah.
You never know what you're missing. You heard right. I bought a bunch of comic books. Actually made a little cash on the side and went down to my local LCS to purchase Mylars and boards. And shockingly, because I'd been through the bin, I don't know if you've seen the video, I showed my Bat Family #1. They had some Bronze Age Bat Families for really inexpensive. And they were having a Labor Day sale. And I kept thinking when I bought that book, I wonder, because usually when they have like something like that, there's more in the back issue bins. So I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to hunt a little more and see if they did actually put some more back stock in. And sure enough, they did. And I found a ton of stuff for $2 and left a bunch of stuff. I actually left a book that was a double, but it was a $2 book from the Bronze Age, a showcase issue. But I was trying to keep the money low so that I could get exactly 2 bags of Mylars and 1 bag of boards. So I'm gonna. So this is the first one. This was $2. It had a bit of a spine roll, and I pressed it flat. Took the spine roll out. This is Detective Comics number 352, Carmen Infantino cover. And I didn't have this one. What year is this from? So this is from '66. So this is when the show just hit, and they mimicked the comic book after the show. So they made it really campy. But this is what I like about this book. Check this centerfold out. Love those purples. It's a classic Carmen Infantino cover. Murphy Anderson on the inks. Best bat wishes from Batman and Robin. But Infantino's not one of my favorite artists, but I do really like this. And I was rebagging and boarding my Iron Man issues from the Bronze Age, and noticed that Carmen Infantino actually did art in quite a few issues. I was shocked. I didn't know he did that. I can't believe that this book was in there for $2. They usually don't price this stuff this low. And like I said, they were having a Labor Day sale and everything was 25% off back issues, which for them, that's pretty lame. They usually give you more off. So I don't know what's going on. Well, they did just redo the whole store. So it's kind of like a re-grand opening. Matter of fact, that's what the sale was more as a re-grand opening sale than the Labor Day, but happened to fall on Labor Day weekend. Is it Labor Day? Yeah. So just a killer May, I don't know, what is this, 1967, number 19. It's got a bunch of spine ticks, but other than that, it's a really great issue. I mean, it's decent for $2. I am shocked that that was in there. The day Hawkman found his wife threatened to be the last day of his life. Oh, that's like a rhyme. So this is Murphy Anderson cover and interior art with Gardner Fox on the scripts. That was $2. I think all of these were $2 except for 1 or 2 issues, which ended up being $4. Now, I showed a video a week or 2 ago, a bunch of these out of my collection. They had a lot of these there. Now, I grabbed the ones that I didn't have yet and that were in better shape because they had a ton more. And they had a lot of good ones in great shape that I already had. So for $2 from Beyond the Unknown, I think this is from 1970 or 72, something like that. Number 16, great robot cover. Check out all the guys like in the head there. And the opening splash page also has that. It's called The World Wrecker. This is Auto Binder on Scripts, another Murphy Anderson cover, 1972. Nice pinks on that robot. And this had a bit of a spine roll, and I fixed it pretty easy, even though it's a thicker book. Really nice shape. $2, man. I can't believe it. I kept finding, I was going through all the DC because there's a little stamp and there's on some of the books. So I've been finding them over the years, the Bronze Age DCs that they have, and so I surmise it came from one collector that they bought from. And I know that he bought all his back inventory from a storage unit from a past LCS owner that used to have a shop here in Central Florida. And most of the stuff that you find from that guy's collection is like a fine or very fine. So great cover. And so just another Bronze Age copy. This is $4.99. Ross Andrew from September '79. I just didn't have this one, and I love finding these from this era. It's kind of when I started buying stuff from the newsstand. And a really cool cover, nice copy too for $2, so I'll take it. Action Comics, showing a little leg right there. And so I got a couple moderns. I got this because it was a George Perez cover. So this is from 1990. Maxima cover. So when I looked at it, I was like, man, I didn't know who this was. Maxima Makes Her Move. And it's just a really great George Perez cover. I love George Perez. I love his detail. He's one of my top 5 artists of all time. And I was looking at the character, and I'm like, I never heard of her. I wonder what her first appearance is. It's a newsstand also from 1990. So I was like, okay, well, what's her first appearance? And I looked it up, and sure enough, for $2, they had it there. Another George Perez cover, 6/45, September '89.
Wow.
Whatever Maxima wants, Maxima gets.
Wow.
So it's the beautiful cover. Another, like I said, George Perez, first appearance, $2. It's got all the trifecta going on there. Don't miss Superman 36 in 2 weeks. And I think I told you everything about that book. So I found her first appearance. Not a big deal, but it's just fun stuff, you know. And I used to turn away all these Adventure Comics issue around this time with Plastic Man, but they started to grow on me. And this was in really nice condition. I didn't have it. It's got Starman, Plastic Man, great title on there with the green background. 471, what is this, 1981, I think? 1980, but this is a Jim Starlin cover. So when I looked it up after I bought it, I'm like, oh, ding, that's a win right there. Starlin, I don't think he's ever made a bad cover on a comic book. Another great artist, probably kind of falls right into my number 6 of great artists of the current age. You know, with Neil Adams, George Perez, Jim Starlin, who else? Barry Windsor Smith, Michael Golden. I could probably think of quite a few more. Don Newton. Nice colorful cover, nice copy of that. $2, Jim Starlin. I'll take it. I'll take it every day. Yes, I will. Okay, and then another one of these was in there that I didn't have. This one is, who does this cover? I don't have it on here, but it's a Statue of Liberty cover. I always love getting Statue of Liberty covers from the bronze or golden, silver. Number 8, supersized, From Beyond the Unknown. 64 pages to stagger the imagination. Look what everything that's in here. I just love panels like this that they tell you everything that's in there. So from 71, nice copy. This also had a spine roll in it. It's great to have a press. If you can get a press and spend about $200, I paid $50 for mine. It's an older one, but I would pay up to $200 for a new one. It is a great tool to have if you're a big comic book collector. So that was number 8. So knocking those out. Here we have another adventure. So they had a bunch of these. I had all of them except this one. Jim Aparo cover. One of these dollar comics. So if you look at the end of this video, I'll put the link to the video. But I did a video on these adventure dollar comics from 1979 to 1983. And they ran a little bit beyond 83. They got into around 84 and they added a quarter to the price. But no ads. 68 pages. The first ones were 80 pages. And just a great cover. Dead Man Flash. That's a great Aquaman cover, though. Look at Mira's feet. Jim Aparo was a great artist. Right when he got to the mid-80s, his art started to wane a lot. And a lot of times these artists, they get older and their eyesight's not as good. And their art suffers because of it. Now just a few more in here. Here's another one from Beyond the Unknown, number 17. This is a Richard Nixon cover. I didn't have this one. I've been wanting this one. From 72 for $2. Really nice copy of that. July 72. I'm not a crook. If you remember the Watergate. And for decades, that was like the biggest scandal in our government, and we've surpassed that over the years since Obama's been in office, and then Biden.
Well, I'm not a crook. I've earned everything I've got.
Astounding, the impossible world named Earth. So great cover, $2, big size, giant size issue. Now you're gonna fall out of your chair on this one. I couldn't believe they had this for $2. This is from 1970. When the Earth turned into a comet. It's a lower grade than most of the other ones in here, but it's a Neil Adams cover. So it's a brand new cover. This is a reprint from Strange Adventures. I forget what, I think number 150 from 1963, but just a great Neil Adams cover. Space cover, black background with the stars and the planets. I saw this and I was like, what? I never saw this before. And I always love discovering these early Neil Adams covers. And there's quite a few of them. He just kind of set the standard much higher for DC artists. He broke many of the molds that the artists used to follow. And so anytime you can find an early Neil Adams DC cover, it's a win, even if it's in low grade. And you can't even really tell how low grade it is because of the black background. So yeah, happy about that one. So 2 more books, and actually I have both of these already, but these are the ones I saw when I first got my Bat Family number 1 for $4. And this is Bat Family number 10 from 1977. Now this reintroduces the original Batwoman. So she had been out of comics since the late 50s. They kind of got rid of her because the Comic Code Authority was kind of cracking down, and they didn't want Batman having too many intimate relationships with females, it seemed like. That was another reason they got rid of Catwoman. Just a great cover. Who does this cover? I wrote it down. I was trying to see if I could remember. Oh, it's Irv Novak. And that's a great Irv Novak cover. He's an average artist. I wouldn't say he's bad. I wouldn't say he's the best. But that's pretty cool. I love the stance there on Killer Moth. But like I was saying earlier about that stamp, there's that stamp that I find on a lot of the DC Bronze Age issues. And so I surmise it came from one collector. And from little hints, I think the collector was a British collector, because some of the books that I found were British DC books. Okay, the last book, and here we have from 1976, Batman Family number 8, Ernie Chang cover.
Hello, Batman.
You're a rare lady, Catwoman. You're right on time.
I'm rare. in more ways than that.
Great cover here with a Catwoman, kind of bondaged. The only thing I never liked about this cover is they use the brown. I don't like when they use brown on the black backgrounds. But this is the second appearance of the Joker's daughter, Dula Dent. And here, she's actually in disguise as Batgirl. So she made her first appearance in disguise as Batwoman, then she was Batgirl, and then she revealed herself in the next issue. So, there you go. Again, it has that little stamp on it. So $2, what was this? No, these were $4. These two Bat families. Well, that's it. I picked up quite a few books yesterday, more than I have in quite a while. Because, as you know, my wife said, don't buy any more comic books. She doesn't actually know I bought these. So it's quite a good stack right there. And all really killer books. So let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate your comments. I'm getting some really great feedback on these videos lately. It's really, you guys are impressing me with your support. So I hope that I'm showing you cool books. Hopefully most of that you haven't seen, or that maybe they're in your collection and you just haven't pulled them out in a while and you forgot about them. And maybe with my videos, I can reignite some of the love you have for your own collection. Anyways, peace out. Nighttiger out.